This is a Kirkendall Barrett presentation, darling.
You can touch it if you want.
Ladies, if you want to meet a man, check your storage closet.
Come on, Kendall. Take off your shirt and go camera shopping at Best Buy.
Good shirtless, not bad shirtless.
Yeah.
Well, it was gratuitous.
Yeah, it was.
I like a good grizzled man sometimes.
A lifetime of Hallmark.
Well, hello, everybody. It is your favorite day of the week. It is time for another episode of A Lifetime of Hallmark, where we talk about your favorite movies on both Lifetime and the Hallmark Channel and try to make sense of them. I am Les Kirkendall Barrett. Hello, Jason Bowers.
Hello, Les Kirkendall Barrett.
And hello, Kurt Fitzpatrick.
Hello, Les Kirkendall Barrett, and hello, Jason Bowers.
It has been a very long time.
It's been a minute. I think 5 or 6 weeks since our last episode, so sorry.
Yes.
Sorry. We've been busy.
Well, the problem is this Gay Pride Month.
See,
Too much.
1000% gay pride is a giant factor in it, because LA, we had WeHo Pride and LA Pride back to back, so 2 big weeks. But, like, we haven't spoken since I was in Mexico.
Oh, my God.
Oh,
Yeah.
Really?
a long time.
Yeah.
Have we spoken since I went to Prague?
I think we
No,
talked
I
about
don't
you
think so.
going to Prague. I'm not sure if we talked about you being in Prague.
Prague, you're in New York.
We haven't talked in like 5 or 6 weeks.
Well,
Yeah.
I just want to say, because I mentioned that I have a problem with the Gay Pride Month. I'm all for the Gay Pride. I'm an ally, as we all know. But if you are a straight person and you're doing a podcast with gay people, you can't do your podcast for a month if Gay Pride's going on, because there's parades and swim parties and house parties.
There definitely were things that interfered, but I think where Les and I failed here is what we should have done is rallied some of our many gay friends that were gathering and somehow put together like a live episode.
Oh, my God. That would have been amazing.
Yeah. So maybe we'll plan ahead for the next big gathering of people.
All right, I need to fly out.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you should come for Gay Pride. Yeah, we have some very entertaining friends.
We could probably do a float. Lifetime of Hallmark float.
I would do it. And speaking of Pride, like I'm exhausted. I was just at New York Pride a couple of days ago.
So you've done were you here for both LA and WeHo?
Yes, I was.
Okay, yeah. So you've done 3 prides this year already. I've done 3 prides. 4 if you count Mardi Gras and World Pride as 2 separate things.
Right.
Which you could, because LA and WeHo are separate.
Right.
Going to San Diego next month.
Oh, you're going to San Diego?
Yeah.
Wait, so what happens? So if you say you do Pride, what does that mean? You're going to the parades, or what's happening?
You're in. For me, it just means in the city with all of the activities going on, and you go to some of those activities and you don't to others. But there's just more gay people there.
Yes. Like even. Oh, and get this. Okay, so in New York, in New York City, they don't have one march. They have 2 parades on the same day.
That's unnecessary.
And at some point, it goes simultaneously at the same time. I did 2 parades on Sunday.
Do they at least have them on different streets? Like, they're not running into each other, are they?
So I did, and then so they call it. So in New York, they get a little more political than we do here in California. So they have the one parade, which they call the corporate parade, which is like, Billy Porter was in it.
I thought that was for like closeted gays. There's a parade for closeted gays, and there's a parade for more out gays.
No.
But
Corporate, like, oh, there's the Bank of America float.
Right, exactly. Where's Fargo?
Oh,
the
good.
The mayor was there.
The people that are our allies for that 1 month a year.
Right.
Okay.
Right. All of the bars had flow. Yeah. So that, that whole thing. And
so what's
then
the other one?
There's the more political parade called the Queer Liberation March. And those are like the people, fuck the patriarchy. We hate capitalism. That parade. So I went to
So
I
low
went
on
to the corporate
sponsorships, that one, right?
Pardon?
So that one's low on sponsorships, right?
Probably.
Yeah, exactly. So I went to, I'm putting in quotes, the corporate parade. Now, the corporate parade seriously went for, they said, and I believe them now, goes for like 6 to 8 hours.
That's hell.
Oh,
Right.
no.
So I went to that one first, and I went for like 3 hours and barely put a dent in it. And then I had
That is a work day, though.
Pardon?
That is a work day. You figure it's like a corporate parade, so you got like an 8-hour work day.
Oh,
of being in the
yeah.
parade.
I never even thought of how terrible we'd be to be in that parade.
Right.
Oh, that would suck.
So then I went down to the Queer Liberation March and met some of my other friends down there. And I thought that I was meeting them and we were going to watch the march. So they were in the march. So I ended up doing the Queer Liberation March. I was in it.
No. Have I told you guys my thoughts on parades?
No, I have a feeling.
I hate parades. I hate them. I find them unbelievably pointless. It is a bunch of people walking and driving. So this isn't just gay pride parades. It's all parades in general. If I want to see a parade, it better be posted speed limit. Whatever the posted
I don't
speed
like
limit.
parades either.
Yeah.
I attended 2 parades while my long time of living in New York. One was the Puerto Rican Day Parade. Another was a World Series parade. And these parades, they're scary. There's so many people. You get crushed in.
Uh-huh.
I don't like that.
Well, and like, it's just such a time suck. Like you said, it's blocking the street. Nobody can drive down the street, and it's just everyone walking and driving slow. That's LA on any day of the year. People walking and driving slow. Why do I need to sit at the side of the road and watch it? But as opposed to speed limit, then they're like barreling down Santa Monica Boulevard in a fire truck with like a bunch of twinks in their underwear hanging on for dear life. And you've got like drag queens like grasping to their wig. That's entertaining.
Grasping to their wig.
Yeah. It's different watching a little parade like at a 4th of July small parade. You know, you're sitting there and these New York, these city parades. I was getting squashed.
It was fun being in it, though. And then after that, I went to dinner in Brooklyn.
How many hours were you walking?
Not a minute was wasted.
How many hours did I walk?
Yeah.
I closed my ring.
Closed your ring?
How does Apple Watch?
I was in the Queer Liberation March for like 2 hours.
No, too much. Especially when you weren't planning on it. No.
Right. Well, yeah, true. There's some hot guys though.
Yeah.
And I did have fun. I did have fun in New York because I was there doing my show. And I started this new thing at the end of my shows. I promote our podcast. So
that's
good.
That's a new thing for you at the end of your shows.
At the end of our shows, I'm like, guess what? I have a podcast. It's called Lifetime of Hallmark.
No, I believe that you do it. I'm questioning the fact that this just started. That this is a new thing that you're doing.
Never.
We forget sometimes. Oh yeah, we do this. No, absolutely. I always remember if I'm on another podcast, I'm always like, oh yeah, I always heavily promote this.
Yeah.
But sometimes a live show, I think sometimes it slipped because I was going to make a program with our information, but didn't. And I'll do it this time.
I was a guest on another podcast, and I'm doing this show about William Dorsey Swan, who was true story, former slave, became the queen of drag in the late 1800s. So I've been and that's why I was in New York. And so one of the places I promoted my podcast, so Bob the Drag Queen and Peppermint from RuPaul's Drag Race have a podcast called the Black Queer Town Hall podcast. And I actually promoted our podcast on that too.
Ooh,
that's awesome.
I'm interested to see how it's going to affect our numbers.
Well, Bob the Drag Queen is supposed to be opening for Madonna on her big celebration tour. Madonna just announced today that they're postponing the start of that big tour. So I think Bob the Drag Queen has some time to come on Lifetime of Hallmark podcast and watch a really bad Hallmark movie with us.
I agree.
Got some free time. Get into the groove, Bob.
I agree.
Hope Madonna's okay. She's had a bacteria infection or something. That's serious shit.
Well, so
Get
how
well
long
soon, Madonna.
he laid up?
They haven't said, TBD.
Because all I know is I have a few friends who have Madonna tickets who are very worried.
Like a prayer. Hey, speaking of famous people, I watched that awful show where it's like a big brother reality show where they put like relatives of famous people.
I just heard about this today because Tom Hanks' niece was on it or something.
That's right.
It melted down.
Two of the Jonas Brothers host this show. What's the name of this show?
Claim to fame.
Claim to fame.
Claim to fame. The woman is not. Yeah, she kind of embarrassed herself. This woman, she's technically Rita Wilson's niece.
Oh, wait a minute. So she didn't use Rita Wilson's name. She used Tom's name.
Right. Even she's Tom Hanks' niece through marriage.
It's still a niece.
So I guess you could say that. Yeah,
still a niece. Like when you were growing up and you went to your aunt and uncle's house, you didn't say my aunt's house through marriage and uncle's house. Like you didn't differentiate. It's the same thing.
I know, but still, she's not blood related to Tom Hanks or Colin Hanks. She's blood related to Chet Hanks.
But what's cheating too is she could have said Rita Wilson because Rita Wilson's famous too.
Yeah,
that's right. She is blood related to Rita Wilson.
What did she do that was it? What is the premise of the show exactly?
I'm nitpicking. It's a bunch of people. So we don't know they're all related to a famous person somehow, but we don't know. We, the viewers, don't know. And they're all in this house. And see, I'm kind of half watching it when it's on. And there was one segment where they did like a talent show. Somebody rapped and someone was singing, and they're all like trying to figure out who these people were. Like everybody in the house is trying to figure it out. And at the end, like one of them said, I know who she is, whatever her name is. And so she came up. She's like, how could you do this to me? If you're related to Tom Hanks. And then she was like screaming, like, I wanted to be on the show longer. Embarrassing Tom Hanks.
Wait, so this is what I don't get. So just because you're related to a famous person doesn't mean you have talent. So, but they had a talent. So what was the talent show supposed to reveal?
Because some of these people are performers, or they're trying to be performers.
I don't understand. Well, I don't get reality shows in general, but who is this for? Because just because they're related to a Tom Hanks or whomever it is, doesn't mean that they have a big enough personality to make for interesting reality television.
Exactly.
And they're not there because of their own star power, because they're not a star. So who's tuning in for this?
Well, it's people like my family's TV that just happens to be on, and I just don't want to change the channel. And I'm working on other stuff, and it's on. So maybe that's what it is.
And think of it this way. If they were truly talented, they'd be Nepo baby.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, not everybody. That for most people, that doesn't work out, as we know. But but this woman, it's kind of embarrassing because she's like 39 years old. Like, it might be kind of cute if she's like 21 and she's saying she's Tom Hanks' niece. But it's like, hey, you better get your own shit happening,
And the deal is, and I would put money on this, if she was remotely talented and Tom Hanks threw her a bone, she'd be able to write it.
Yeah.
At least get started.
Colin's been active for years.
Yeah.
She said she has an acting career. She's had a role in Larry Crown and some other. It's like his movies. So he's given her like one a line. It's nice of him.
Which is nice.
I never thought of this before, but can you imagine being like Tom Hanks? Everybody loves Tom Hanks, but the orbit, like he's got these relatives who must be like, hey Tom, would you look at my screenplay? It's like, just come on.
Yeah.
I have relatives that try to pull that shit, and I'm not even.
They're trying to give you a screenplay. Oh God.
Yes, but you know how you stop people from doing that? Well, or what I started getting a lot of is
I can't do anything with it.
I have an idea for a movie. Like, people think that their ideas are just so fucking interesting. So what has stopped people in their tracks when they're like, I have an idea. Do you have a treatment? Do you have and then they're like, well, what's a treatment? And then you tell them, they're like, I need to do that. And I'm like, yeah, you do. Or is it registered with the WGA? Well, no, you need to do that too. Because I'm not going to read if you do have a script, I'm not going to read your half-assed lame script and then have you potentially sue me down the line for stealing your shitty idea.
Wow.
I wonder if that's what Tom Hanks says too, when his niece tries to slip him a script.
Yeah.
I'm reading your shit script. I mean, I don't know. Some of these people hide in their house like they're Howard Hughes because they're afraid one of their relatives is going to give them a script treatment or something.
Oh, I'm sure. Because
stay away. I bet he gets his wife. I bet he gets Rita to kind of like, because she seems like a good partner. She probably like tells her family like, don't bring any scripts, don't approach them about anything. We'll try to help you out if we can, but just leave us alone. This is a barbecue.
Right.
Back
Exactly.
off.
I feel like Tom has enough cojones to do that on his own too. Like, because he's so like nice and affable. I think he would just be upfront and be like, "Hey guys, like we're trying to do a family barbecue here, and like I've worked hard to get what I got, so you should do the same."
Right. Exactly.
That's
now, can you pass me the truffle oil for my hot dog?
Exactly.
Right. If there's an extra roll, maybe I'll make you an extra in something.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Great. I'm sorry I asked him. Hey, Tom, think I could have a role in the movie? Well, I think we may have an extra part for you. It'd be a featured extra.
Right. Ooh. So you'd you'd eat that, you'd bite that hot dog with truffle oil or,
I'm going to marry into Tom Hanks' family, so I'm related to him.
How? He has all sons.
He's got this niece.
Somebody in there.
You got the niece.
Oh, that's right. I could marry that crazy niece.
Oh, there you go, Kurt.
All right, if she's listening.
She's appropriate and everything.
Oh, yeah. Thanks.
Well,
she is age appropriate.
39.
That's true. She's age appropriate for me. Yeah. Yes, yes, that would work out well. We'd be a power couple. Tom Hanks' niece and nephew. We would take on the world.
Would you take on her last name? But then would you be like Kurt Hanks?
Yes. I don't think her name was Hanks. I don't think her name isn't Hanks because she's not. Yeah.
Is it White?
White.
Is her last name White?
Barry.
Like our favorite person with the last name White.
Oh, I think it was Barry White. Oh no, yeah, I'm ready. Here we go.
Do you have any Blac Angela White Chyna?
Doing a piece of China.
China.
I'm talking China.
The Blac Chyna Report. Here's Kurt Fitzpatrick.
All right, this is from E! News.
How old is this? It's been a while since we've done the show.
Yeah, it is for a while. Yeah, it's May 13th. But look, this was a good article I found here. Don't call me out on things like that.
I wasn't calling you out. I was genuinely curious because it's all of our collective fault while we haven't been here.
You already interrupted our Tom Hanks relative. I was making my case to marry that unfortunate woman. All right, so Blac Chyna celebrated her 35th birthday looking much different than she did during her 34th. The glamour model, Rob Kardashian's ex, reflected on her past look with facial fillers in a May 12th Instagram post, bluntly declaring in a video, "I was looking at old pictures you guys. That face was looking crazy." Chyna, real name Angela White, included 2 photos of herself from the 2020 Oscars. In March, the reality star began documenting her experiences getting several cosmetic procedures reversed. She shared on Instagram videos of herself getting fillers dissolved from her cheeks and jawline. Back to the baseline, she told a physician's assistant at the time, "I'm tired of the look, and it's just not flattering. It's not what I want to look like. It totally changed my face, and I'm just ready to get back to Angela. Blac Chyna's Blac Chyna, and I feel like I've outgrown that, and it's just time for a change." Chyna added that with her facial fillers and makeup artists would contour it so it would be even more dramatic, adding, so I would be looking like Jigsaw. The mask, everything. I'm just ready to take it out. Chyna previously underwent breast reduction surgery and had silicone removed from her buttocks. Following her procedure, she shared how she told her and Rob Kardashian's daughter, Dream Kardashian 6, and her and ex-Tyga's son, King Cairo 10, about her procedures. When I came back from my surgery, they're like, so why are you laying like that? She said on Sway in the morning. I'm like, Mommy just had surgery. They're like, so what did you get? I'm like, I got my boobies and my butt smaller. Chyna then imitated the kids' reactions to. I never had that experience with my parents, but okay. Anyway, Chyna then imitated the kids' reaction to her physical transformation. She shrugged her shoulders, saying, okay. And then there are other celebrities who have admitted to plastic surgery, other cosmetic. There's Kim Cattrall. She's in her 60s and now battling aging in any way she can. There are fillers, Botox, so many different things. There's lots of people here. Blac Chyna and Genevieve Padalecki. You know
Genevieve?
Who's Genevieve Padalecki?
She's the wife of Supernatural alum Jared Padalecki.
Oh yeah, he's hot.
So she's doing stuff.
He's in
Alex
Supernatural,
Earl.
and he's now Walker, Texas Ranger. And back in the day, he was on Gilmore Girls.
Joe Jonas has had some injectables.
I bet he has.
He's doing some stuff. Anyway. Yeah. Courtney Cox. Courtney Cox has had work done? No.
Well, you know, I mean, lunchtime procedures are a common thing here.
Well, I'm being sarcastic. I know she's had some work. Anyway, I'm just looking at this list of people. Most of these people, I don't know who they are. Mark Jacobs, that's a fashion guy, right?
Designer,
Doesn't he do something?
Yep.
The fashion powerhouse. Yeah, he got a facelift. Okay. All right. Well, that's that.
Well, I gotta say, you know, Blac Chyna does look better now. She's very pretty, actually.
Yes, I like her.
She's very pretty. Yeah, she definitely looks like even more delicate. Like seriously, like you know, she definitely looks better without it. I guess we should talk about this movie.
Yeah.
Oh, Jaquetta says hi to everybody.
Hi, Jaquetta.
Friend of the podcast, Jaquetta, quite a bit in New York.
Did she end up watching this with you?
Pardon?
Did she watch this movie with you?
No, she did not.
Oh,
no.
You lucked out.
Wait, this is how long this movie has been on the shelf. I think I watched half of this movie before I went to Prague.
Wow.
Yeah, because I think you gave us the title of the movie right after we recorded our last episode.
And because I remember part of the problem was I was on my way to Prague and I couldn't finish the movie.
In fact, you watched part of it before we recorded our last podcast because you talked about it. You talked about how, in the chat, that you had seen this movie and you thought it was scandalous.
Well, it is scandalous for Hallmark standards.
Yes,
the shenanigans that went on in this movie.
Big Sky River.
So I watched this movie over a month ago, so you guys are going to definitely have to take the lead on this.
Well, it's a good thing.
Notes, but it's been so long, my notes are all messed up.
It's a good thing I rewatched part of this. I rewatched I just rewatched 2/3 of it.
I would not rewatch this crap if you paid me $1 million.
So I have the gist of what happened, but like I said, it's been over a month. So
this is the summary that everyone needs to know before going into this movie is the basic outcome, which is going to be your head softly on a pillow snoring.
True.
Yeah. So this will be a good show for someone to listen to as they're like falling asleep at night because there are some good podcasts for that.
But you know what though? The worse the movie is, the better our episode.
Hey, I'm loopy as all get out. I'm ready.
Yeah. I do feel like you're setting us up though here, Les.
So
Big Sky River from Hallmark.
Yes.
Big Sky River.
So we start off, and what was her name?
Tara.
Yeah.
Well, Tara Kendall. Her last name was Kendall, which I think is a reference to Succession.
I don't think so at all.
Yeah.
Oh, that's their last. Okay, do you all know?
Kendall. That's nothing to know.
I never watched an episode of Succession. I think I'm going to binge it.
Oh, that's not an easy show to binge.
No, you got to take it.
It's not a good show to binge.
It's not a good show to binge because it's so meticulously plotted and written that it's elements of it move really slow, and they're such assholes that it's kind of hard to watch several episodes back to back to back without just wanting to slit everyone's throats.
Well, that's called life.
Well, I watched it week by week. Yeah, and it's kind of like you're watching it and you kind of like, yeah, it's a different kind of show to watch. Absolutely.
Well, I'm gonna watch. I did see the part.
Digest it as it goes along.
I did see the part where like a mascot was puking.
Well, that's a while ago.
Yeah,
that was like season 1 or 2.
Well, I'm starting from the beginning. I'm starting from like a mascot like had puke coming out of its eyes or something.
Yeah, start at the beginning. Take it slow.
Okay. Anyway, so Tara.
Mm-hmm.
What was she traveling yet, or was she?
No, she's in New York where she lives. New York. Right. She lives in the city, but she's at the equestrian center.
Yes, I was talking about how she got dumped.
Well, she's with a little girl, and it gets confusing. I think it was Erin.
The little girl,
blonde girl,
and the little girl was calling her mom, and Tara's like, "Don't call me mom because your dad doesn't want you to call me mom anymore."
Yeah,
right.
So I thought
yeah. So like the long and short of it is that this girl is Tara's stepdaughter. So Tara is married to a man who is once divorced. Now he and Tara are going through a divorce, but this girl has only really known Tara as her mother, so she calls Tara mom. So they're very close, like biological mother-daughter, but they are not biological mother-daughter.
See, and this is what I thought was scandalous about this being a Hallmark movie. Because not only are we talking about a twice divorced person
headed towards his third marriage, by the way, spoiler.
Right.
Oh.
And the fact that like, you know, the daughter, because normally old Hallmark used to be, oh, we're going to be a ready-made family. And new Hallmark is like, not only are we getting divorced, you can't call me mom anymore. Yeah. It's like I never existed to you.
Yeah.
Kind of messed up.
Yeah. But it's a sign that change has come to Hallmark.
Mm-hmm.
Not to come full circle, but I'll bet Mr. Hanks was watching this movie and it's like he's got to tell his niece, don't call me uncle anymore. That's the way things are going to be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Tom Hanks is constantly watching different TV shows and movies to get excuses out of having to be related to his non-blood relatives.
That's right.
Yeah,
I think he listens to the show after he heard we were talking about him.
Sure.
But this is different because I had never watched that show, and today I was driving and heard on the news about this girl because she made that much of a ruckus that it was.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but that's just a good publicist using a clip from the show that can go viral.
From that stupid show, yeah.
Well, they did show a clip of her cry. They did a clip of her crying, and I was like, "Oh, she sounds like a dumbass."
Like, I haven't seen the clips. I only saw the headlines, and it made me want to watch it less.
Because in the clip, she like threw a tantrum, and I guess there was someone named Hugo or someone who she's like, "You betrayed me," or something like that. Like someone called her out or something.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not even trying to be funny when I say this. I didn't know about the existence of this show, and having heard about it today, I'm aware of its existence and aware of the fact that I never want to watch an episode, not even by accident.
Wow. I don't know how anybody watches this. After that was The Bachelorette.
Now I'm gonna watch The Bachelorette.
No.
Well, that's even worse. The Bachelorette is a bunch of people showing up. Hello there. I'm happy to meet you. And then they're all like hanging out in a room. It's so boring.
I'll give you something that's even more boring and not as good is this movie.
No, I think The Big Sky River is more interesting than The Bachelorette to me.
I think The Bachelorette's going to be good this season, though.
Not much better, though. All right, let's get through it.
So So then she needs. So then I'm trying to see how good my memory is. So then she.
Okay.
Oh wait, Jason, are you there?
Yeah, I'm
Still
here.
there. We just can't see him.
You can't see me? Oh, that's weird.
He got disgusted.
You can't see him.
Him so much he got disgusted.
We see his like his picture, his Facebook picture. It's him like on a soccer field.
There.
Oh, there he is.
That.
Okay.
Except
So
that's
then,
the wrong
okay, so
camera.
then, so let me test my memory. So then she wanted to get out of town so she could heal and lick her wounds. Correct?
Kind of, yeah. She
why is
wanted
that
to,
hot
but
to
like
me?
she was going to this this ranch or this area of the country that she had visited when she was very young. It's always held a special place in her heart. And at the same time, Bethany, who is the girlfriend of the dad, Bethany and the daughter need to get acclimated to each other if the daughter is going to be living with dad full time and Bethany's going to be around. So they're basically shipping off the daughter so that Tara can have the summer to herself.
Right. And then the dad, meanwhile, is also like, and don't forget, Tara, she's not your kid. Basically.
Yeah.
So then Tara goes to the country to a nice house in the country. And
It was a nice house in the country, but like, as you know, usually in the country, gas prices are really cheap. And wherever she went, I made note of the fact that, the gas prices haven't dropped wherever she is.
I saw that. Yeah.
So maybe it was like Jackson Hole, Wyoming, or.
But isn't there oil there? Wouldn't gas be cheap there? Like they were California prices wherever they were.
So maybe she's like.
Maybe they were in California.
Like
Oh no, I guess not. On those mountains.
Unless the prices on the sign were like, because they filmed in Canada and the prices were per liter, but you know, if it's per gallon, it sounds like it's a lot.
Ah.
Right. Or maybe she's like up in Humboldt County, or like, you know.
They have places like that in California, though, right? Where there's those mountains. Could you have like a ranch like that in California?
Sure.
Yeah.
With those mountains.
But Hallmark doesn't set movies in California that are actually filmed in California.
I'm just trying to think where they could be.
But sure, yeah, you could.
They kind of made reference to being a remote place, but I don't think they said where it was exactly.
They may have said in the plot that it was Montana or something like that, but I just made note of, wow, they filmed in an area where the gas was super LA pricey.
Right.
So then she's at her house, and then she meets her.
Oh, wait, no, you missed. So while she's out driving, she stops at a gas station. And as she's getting this very expensive gas, there's a cop that stops to tell her to basically keep an eye on her purse.
Leaves her purse on the gas tank. I remember that.
Yeah. But they were in the middle of nowhere. No one was coming up to take her purse.
And the cop used to be on that Aaron Spelling show, Savannah. That was
I never saw that.
That it was like Melrose Place, but it was in Savannah. It was a good show.
Okay.
Never saw it.
So
Well,
then
her house.
So Savannah is
okay,
like,
no, go ahead.
Don't leave your purse on the gas tank. But then again, she's an idiot too, because I mean, wouldn't you know better than to do that anyway?
Yes, but it wasn't like she left it on her car and drove off. It was like she had a convertible. The gas tank is right, like, you know, she put the purse on top of like the open back of the back of the car, and the gas tank was right there too. So the purse was basically by her side. It didn't seem that dumb to me. And they do a lot of dumb things on Hallmark and Lifetime movies. This didn't seem particularly dumb. It was just a way to have them meet cute in the movie.
I've got a note. The regular gas was $4.90 a gallon.
That's pretty steep for like country.
Yeah.
Because it's more like, it's like $4.90 here.
That's what I mean.
You know?
That's what I was saying.
Well, they better ride their horses instead.
Yeah. So then, so he kind of scolds her, but it wasn't even like a good scolding.
That's what I said. It was an excuse to meet cute. He wasn't mad about it. He was just trying to say, like, hey, you look like you're new to these parts, essentially. Like, just because you're in the country doesn't mean that, things don't happen here.
But you know how sometimes, though, with the meet cutes, the guy says, hey, listen, don't do that. And the woman is like, how dare you? Yeah. What do you think? I'm stupid? Get away from me.
She should have sprayed him with gas and lit him on fire.
Right. Oh, that's Lifetime.
That's what usually happens in real life.
Still my favorite scene in Zoolander is that scene with the gas.
So then she goes to her house. She goes to the house, right? And the house is like, it's like a pretty fabulous house.
Yeah. It's owned by this woman named Joanna Barlow.
Uh-huh.
And like Tara is telling the story of how she used to come to this town as a little girl, how she used the words bad divorce. I think the second or third time that's been said in this movie already. Not just divorce, but bad divorce.
Right.
What made it bad?
There's discussion of the fact that there are chickens and Tara's going to keep the chickens because Joanna was going to take them away. And Tara's like, no, I'll take care of the chickens. Dumbass.
Outside, she's got a bunch of cocks.
Yeah.
So, and they're aggressive cocks. She's got to put on like gloves to handle these cocks.
Because someone offered to take,
what I'm saying?
Right? Yeah. And she's like, no, I want to keep them, right?
Somebody offered to take the cocks, and she said, no, I'm taking.
Yeah, Joanna was going to have her son come pick up the cocks.
Dawson, right?
Yeah, yes. Joanna's like, Dawson loves cocks.
Dawson's cocks.
Like, Dawson is eager to get to those cocks, but if you're saying you're holding onto the cocks, and I guess they're your cocks for now.
Okay, I'm remembering more of this movie than I thought I would. So, yes, Dawson was her son.
Yeah. Yes.
No.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Wait, what?
Dawson is her son.
Joanna's son.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Oh, okay. Gee, all right. Just take it easy over there.
Sorry, you started talking about cocks a lot. I got really excited. You know what I love even more than cake at the Abbey? Cocks at the Abbey.
So when you come to visit, Kurt, you're going to get cake at the Abbey, and then we're going to see cocks at the Abbey.
That's where we need to do the live show.
I'm so desperate to get out. I'm actually going to say yes to that.
Kurt, we need you here in LA. You'd have fun.
Like legit, if you plan a trip out here, we can put together a live show with even if just friends coming for sure.
Yes.
I need to get out and have some fun.
Yes.
We'll get you some cocks too.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to be open to that. Well, I didn't mean it that way. Well, no, actually, I did. We can say I did.
I'm open to the cocks.
Yeah, so am I.
I'm open to cocks.
So anyway, so then what happened?
We see that cop from earlier in the movie, and it's like him and his friend or maybe a brother. They're trying to set up the cop with some woman named Julie. We find out the cop has 2 kids.
Right.
And we cut to Tara again. She's sees the cop playing baseball with his kids. And the cop's talking to them, and they start talking about the mom in past tense. I see dead people. And the boys think girls are icky. And
for now.
Yeah, and Dad, well, maybe they like cocks too.
Right, that's true.
Dad tells him that one day.
He's not open-minded to that. He tells us the little boy, like, well, sometimes, someday you'll be into women.
Yeah, the line was something like, one day you're going to like girls. I thought that was pretty offensive, too. I actually put that in my notes.
Right. Because you never know.
Or not even offensive isn't the word, but just short-sighted in the writing. Like, really, in 2023, you're still...
A little old school. Yeah.
Yeah. So... And then what happened?
And we learned that the little brother of the 2 doesn't like talking about mom. Because, for him, it's, mom, like the only mom he ever knew. She's gone.
Yeah.
So then we see Tara. She's with this kid, Dawson, the son of Joanna, who is like I didn't recognize how young his character was supposed to be in the scene. And not that the actor even looked old, but just when she mentioned, oh, my son Dawson will come get the chickens or whatever, I just pictured adult male son.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, and Dawson, you know, kind of nerdy, but nice. Like, he's a nice kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wrote he's a nerd. I thought he was older than he was for some reason.
Yeah. Well, I think it's what I said. I think when she first mentioned Dawson before you saw him, it just made it sound like, oh, my son will come take care of this task for you. It made it sound like adult grown son will come and like fix something at your house. That's sort of how I heard it in my head.
Oh, okay.
Right. So,
kids' names were I think Fletcher and Griffin. Is that right?
That sounds about right. Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
And then this is the scene where Tara's at the general store. She's buying gloves so she doesn't get bit by the chickens.
Right. And then she bumps into like a
Casey
Casey
Elfman?
I didn't know who Casey Elfman was supposed to be in this universe. It was my guess that she's like a famous person that lives in this small town when she's not like touring the world for whatever it is she's famous for.
So I think it was supposed to be like, hey, you're Reba McIntyre.
Yeah.
She's famous, but then around there she's just folks.
Yeah.
See, this is where we're talking before about a famous person getting screenplays. This is where the whole story should have shifted, where the woman becomes like this is where we become a Lifetime movie. This woman becomes obsessed with this musician, so starts leaving her like demo tapes.
Yeah,
starts like breaking in her house in the middle of the night and singing to her when she's trying to sleep.
There must have been. I mean, we talk about this a lot. There must have been a reason in an earlier draft of the script why this character was there, because the character didn't really serve any purpose to the story, did they? They weren't like the hero at the end of things. They weren't involved with anything driving the plot of this.
Well, another thing that would be worthwhile, I thought maybe she was a real singer, so that would have kind of worked, even if if they
just like sort of shoehorn a song in like later in the movie.
Yeah, we'd accept that. That'd be fine. But it wasn't even that.
Right, because she didn't even sing all that well. She did.
She owns a
she was
jet,
trying
though.
out some new material.
And then didn't she say something like, "You need to get gloves" or something?
Yeah, that's why she was Tara was at the general store shopping for gloves when she meets Casey.
And then she's like, take care of her, Stanley, or something like that. Right?
Yeah.
Like, something like that.
I don't know. This movie's so bad.
She's trying to hide out in a small town, but she's making herself known. Someone walks in that store. It's like she works there.
And then didn't the other
person help you?
She's so cool or something like that, right?
I don't remember that happening.
And there was a guy. She like Reba is so down to earth or whatever. I love how I just named her Reba McIntyre.
Was that in this scene or was that later in the movie when she's at her gig or whatever?
I think it was this scene.
No, I didn't make note of it in my notes.
Because then, she was just kind of walking around like she's like, "Oh, I'm down to earth, like you little, kind of like when Meghan and Harry are in Santa Barbara walking around like I am just like you."
I feel like when Meghan and Harry are walking around Santa Barbara, they're walking around Montecito, which is wildly rich. And I'm sure that it's still very, very obvious that they are Meghan and Harry and they are not down to earth.
And then they bump into Oprah at the Ralph's.
Yeah.
There's a Ralph's in Montecito. I've been to it.
Yeah.
Are you ever driving around? Is that weird? Like, you ever driving in LA and you like see people? You'll see like Prince Charles walking down the street, or like Imelda Marcos. Those are bad examples, but
those are great examples.
Do you see Robert Redford? I don't know.
You know who I saw once in a car, and she was driving like a fancy car? Shirley Jones.
Oh, was it like a giant multicolored bus?
It was like
Shirley Jones.
I think it was a Rolls from what I can remember. But yeah, it's like, oh my God, there's Shirley Joe.
Fabio once almost drove me off the road like years ago. Fabio did. And then driving around, you'll occasionally see Leno drive by in some sort of wacky, like old-timey car. So I spot the car before I spot the driver, but you usually can figure out, oh, it's probably Leno, and then you see that blue denim shirt. And I've seen him like in the grocery store a couple of times. Like I definitely see people more in the store and places like that than I do driving by.
I saw Tyler Perry in pavilions near your house, Jason.
Yep.
Went to, when I was in LA some years ago, we went to a diner in Glendale and we saw Chekhov.
Oh, nice.
Sitting at the next table.
My roommate went to some brewery in like Riverside, and Will Ferrell was randomly there. Like,
cool.
Not even in LA, like all the way out in Riverside.
That's because it would be jarring for me. Like I'm driving down the street, I look out the window, and I see I don't know, Julia Margulis, I see Julia Margulis all the time anyway. But
sometimes you see people in yoga, or like you do see people like in the wild.
Well, I told you I saw like Amy Adams. I was behind her in line on Christmas Eve at Pavilions, and she let me cut in front of her.
Oh,
we had a whole convo about discount, like the six pack of bottles of wine discount.
I was walking down the street in New York and I saw William Dafoe. That was cool.
Cool. Just walking around.
It was like the Wooster Street, like where he does this, like a theater group. Or he had a theater group years ago. Who knows? But yeah, we were like the only ones walking on the street. He was walking down the street the other way.
He's like, hello.
There he is. No, yeah, hello, Kurt. That would have freaked me out. Anyway.
So then what else happened to Tara?
Well, then I told. Okay. I thought that was the end of that story.
Oh, the next.
Yes.
Oh, go ahead, Kurt. You were gonna say.
No, I'm done.
It's now like the next morning. The chickens wake Tara up, and she goes out there, forgets her gloves, and one ends up biting her and gets away. And then outside, you see that cop from earlier. He's chasing the chicken, not a euphemism.
Damn.
His name is Boone, by the way. You'll find that out here. Boone helps her with her cock. And Tara tells Boone that, they're not cocks. They are roosters because they're laying eggs. I mean, not roosters, actual chickens. Yeah. Hens.
Oh.
Can't think of the word. Yeah, because she had it for the eggs.
We added the show, though.
Yeah. Yeah, I got to edit all that cock stuff out. No, I'm not.
Yeah, take that cock out.
No. Leaving it in. I'm leaving the cock in.
Pride month is over. Yes. What if she has to get a tetanus shot or something like that? If a chicken bites you, that may be a problem. They gotta be dirty. Well, gotta have something. They look like dirty little things.
Yeah, it does seem weird. Like if I bite the cock, that's bad. So it's probably bad if the cock bites me.
Well, you tell me what. Well, I don't know.
I'm telling you.
Keep rolling along here.
I'm telling you, if a cock ever bites you, that's a bad thing. There's something wildly wrong if the cock is biting you.
Well, yeah, that would be a real turn of events.
Yeah.
Isn't that called syphilis?
No matter what the circumstances are, I don't know. Anyway, so
comfortable. So then she kind of flirts with him, right?
Yeah, a little bit. And Tara's telling Boone about her life. She's a teacher. She's there because she wants. And she tells him that she wants to ride a horse. Oh, she's telling someone she wants to ride a horse, not Boone.
Oh, the lady Dawson's mother, I think.
Oh, maybe, yeah. What the hell's her name? Joanna.
Yeah, she's telling Dawson.
I've got some good notes. Let me see.
And that she's inquiring about why Boone's kids don't seem to have a mom.
I see dead people.
And they're like, because she's dead.
Yeah.
But then, isn't Tara's at the point now, like, I don't want a man. I don't want to be involved with a man. I just want to be here on my own and make this my eat, pray, love in the country.
She's never really said that in the movie, I don't think. Never really put it in those terms. I think, at least the way I understood it watching it, was that she was just scared to start something new.
And then Talia, right?
What's
I'm
that?
sorry?
Not Bethany. What girl? Her
Aaron.
daughter.
Aaron calls her.
Then Aaron. Oh no, the ex-husband starts calling her.
No, Aaron,
right?
not yet. Not for a while.
Oh.
Aaron
Okay.
calls Tara. She spills the news that like Dad wants to spend more time with Bethany, so they're sending Tara to camp, which kind of sucks because Tara could have easily gone with, not Tara. Aaron could have easily gone with Tara. Tara would have been fine having Aaron with her all summer. And then this is the scene where Tara then hears a noise in the house at the middle of the night.
Oh, and it's a raccoon.
Yeah, fucking raccoon.
It's a Maine Coon cat.
It's a raccoon.
I have a raccoon story that happened to me in Mexico, a trip we haven't talked about on this show because we've been gone for so long. So we're at this very nice restaurant in Tulum, and we're sitting there eating, and it's like it's mostly indoors, but it's like kind of half covered. It's like indoor outdoor feel. And the people at the next table like keep staring at our table. They're like looking over, and I'm like, why are they looking at me? Are they like trying to figure it out if we're a group of gay guys? Like, what are they looking at? Are they find one of us attractive? Are they talking about it? What's going on? And then my friends all start like looking towards me too, but they're and everyone is talking around me, not talking to me. I find out they're all talking about the fucking raccoon that is literally right behind me. There's a raccoon like up on its hind two legs up behind him, and there's all this commotion. The waiter comes over and he's like, oh, I see you met Max. Like really matter of factly. I'm like, yeah, you've got a fucking rabid animal here. Raccoons are nasty motherfuckers.
Yeah.
So wait, he was standing up in his hind
He
legs?
was like standing up on his hind legs. He sees all our food. He's trying to get our food. And like my friend, like Andrew, they're all taking photos of it. And the people at the next table thought it was cute. Nobody thought to fucking tell me that there's a raccoon directly behind me that could jump on me at any moment.
Like, was he gonna like grab your chicken or something?
I don't fucking know if he was gonna choke on the chicken. I don't know. I don't know. All I know is if you see a raccoon directly behind your friend, rather than talking about it, talk to your friend and say, hey, FYI, there's a fucking raccoon behind you.
How did Max make his exit?
Max just hung out until he got bored and I moved to the other side of the table.
You're like, I'm not giving any food, Max.
Yeah.
How far away was he from you?
Like
a couple
literally less than a foot. Less than a foot.
That freaked me out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not like he was several feet away. He was less than a foot behind me. And everyone I was with saw the raccoon and didn't say anything.
You could have turned around and like accidentally hit him or something.
Yes, I know. Hence me being fired up.
He could have grabbed your plate and ran away with it.
Yes, he could have.
Well, that would have been so bad. At least you wouldn't have gotten hurt.
Like they're kind of rambunctious.
Yeah,
And you would have got a free meal.
I've calmed down now. I just want. I just thought that was a good point to talk about this fucking raccoon in the house.
Can you have been like, you need to comp this meal? I'm distressed over this.
I was surprised that they were so nonchalant about it, because this wasn't like a dumpy little place. This was an expensive restaurant.
So a raccoon,
wild animals running around.
like you had a marsupial, or are they rodents?
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
you
I
had
don't
a
know.
rodent in your dining area. That's not sanitary.
I don't know.
Is this place regulated? I can't imagine like a raccoon being clean.
I don't know what the regulations are, because I was in another country. All I know, it was an environment where that being in that environment would certainly be considered unusual.
Well, obviously, if he had a name, he
Max.
was like a regular thing.
Yeah, unless they say that about all of the rodents that come through the restaurant.
Max, you just met Max.
Here comes Joe the rat.
Right. Oh my God, I saw so many rats in New York.
It's Tony the Scorpion.
I saw so many rats in New York. They just like hang out. I totally forgot that rats just randomly just walk across the sidewalk.
You know, when I first moved to New York, I worked on a film shoot as a production assistant. Actually, it's the movie I work with John Rubinstein, who you met. But anyway, yeah. So it's this movie. It's a movie. So they're shooting in like this basement, kind of like our first floor in New York, this like New York apartment building. So, but it was kind of like wasn't really being used for anything. And my job was to stay behind. Everybody left, went out to lunch, and I could see through the window. The floor where they were shooting was like overrun by rats.
Didn't you say John Rubinstein got mad at you?
Yeah, because so I was like 23, so this is a long time ago. I don't know how old John Rubinstein is now, but
he's probably in his 80s or 70s.
No.
So my friend, while I was in New York, my friend produced a play starring John Rubinstein, and John Rubinstein, he was like especially in the 70s, he was like young, like he was like one of the young hot guy who was in all like the 70s TV shows and stuff back then. And so he was in a one-man show, and I went, and my friend introduced me to John Rubinstein and stuff. And Kurt noticed it on Facebook and was like, I worked for him, and he got mad.
I didn't work for him. He was the lead of this movie. Yeah, he was in. Might be wrong. I think it was Children of Lesser God on Broadway, and he's been in movies. He was on the show This Is Us. He had like a recurring role in there. Anyway, he's been in stuff for years. But yeah, he was the lead in this movie, and like I drove him to like the wrong block or something like that, and he was like, so we were all like out of the car, and I'm like, oh, this is the wrong block, and he's like, get on the walkie. We didn't even have cell phones. We had like it was a walkie-talkie. He's like, get on the walkie and talk to the PR and get on the walkie and call the AD. I was like, oh, okay, all right, Mr. Rubinstein. Otherwise, he was nice.
No, he's very nice. When I met him, he's very nice.
Team up with the raccoon.
Okay, I just got
some story about John Rubinstein. Okay,
I just think that through my
my story,
my internet. So they found Madonna unresponsive when she ended up in the hospital.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Yeah, that thing.
Is she okay now? I'm gonna take a look.
They found her.
Okay.
No, what are you saying?
Oh,
I was wondering if Jason's okay. He had an expression on his face.
No, I was trying because Les kept trying to tell us that I saw, and then it was like and it was cutting out. So I was like, "What did he see? What's going on? What's he trying to?" I didn't know if his computer was cutting out. I was just waiting to hear what happened.
I was just saying, Madonna intubated in ICU after being found unresponsive in NYC. Is this right? Is this happening right now though?
She's in the hospital.
Rushed to hospital.
She's been in the ICU though.
This is 6 hours ago. It was 6 hours ago. She was rushed to the hospital after being found unresponsive. We're broadcasting this on. We're recording June 28th, 2023. By the way.
But
all right. I hope she's okay.
So do I.
Well,
you gotta watch out. Listen, all things being equal, serious bacterial infection, that's serious shit.
Yeah.
Like, what is it like?
Well, that's how my dad passed away. Pretty much, he got. Wow. He had it's like it's an infection, and if it goes into your whole body.
Yeah, because like if it's depending on the kind of infection, it can sort of like backfeed into your body and like go through your liver, and it's just so bad.
And it's hard to get rid of that shit. Like you can get rid of it, comes back, get rid of it, comes back. So I hope she's all right.
Anytime soon, basically.
She's not what? She's got a. I would assume she's getting the best care.
But she's not gonna be in concert anytime soon.
I don't know
if she's if it's more serious than it sounds, then it's then no.
Wow.
But I'm not a doctor.
Anywho, so then, I'm trying to remember what happened. Tara, is this where like the neighbors like, hey, watch my kids?
Yeah, just about. So we Boone's youngest son had a nightmare, so the older brother made him warm milk. Then we see Joanna's son Dawson, inexplicably at this point at breakfast at Tara's. So this person who we do later find out is like an actual teenager, but who until now we thought maybe a grown adult, is just at Tara's house. So that raised red flags for me. I was like, what is Tara doing here?
Well, see, if this was a Lifetime movie, they'd be like going at it.
Oh, for sure. And he's like kind of young and twinky, so they would have had the scene of him showering like they do in Lifetime movies all the time. Yeah.
Obligatory Lifetime shower.
Yeah. Unnecessary.
And now we're up to point Boone bringing Fletcher and Griffin over to Tara's because he's got to go to court. So ask her if she can watch.
He shows up and it's like, hey, can you watch my kids?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of odd.
Yeah, that's very odd.
See, like you've lived in this town how long and you don't have any other support system to help you out with your kids besides a woman who just moved in next door that you don't know?
And how do you know she doesn't have things to do today?
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, she could have said no.
She could be a maniac.
Yeah.
What's that, Jason?
I said she could have said no, but she didn't. She's kind of eager to do it, actually.
Well, because she was stigmatized.
Yeah.
Ooh.
You know the power of being stigmatized?
Do I?
Well, you could get child care out of that, of being stigmatized.
Yeah, you can get child care out of being stigmatized.
I'm gonna put in a claim with the state then.
Yeah,
Tell me about it. I'm gonna get some home aids if I could stigmatize some people.
Getting stigmatization.
Do you know how hard it is to get health aids these days? But if I could stigmatize the right people,
it gets you all sorts of things. Gets your laundry done, gets your rides places, gets you, you know, a free meal sometimes, jewelry.
If I'm if I'm stigmatized, I'm not getting all that stuff. Usually if you're stigmatized, you're dumb enough to give away all that stuff.
you're giving it, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So he's getting free childcare because she's stigmatized.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
What is the opposite version of that? Like what power does she have over him? What do you call that?
Let's call it P-whipped.
That's not P-whipped and like mesmerized by one's sexuality are two different things though.
Vaginitized.
Yeah, it's something with vag or vag. I don't know.
This is a classy episode.
It really is. Like
Dazzled.
If it were two women in a relationship, you could call it lesmerized.
Right, or
yeah, that's good. That's good. What was yours? Bedazzled?
V-dazzled.
Oh, V-dazzled.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's good. We'll go V-dazzled.
So let's see. So would I be V-dazzled as a straight? I'd be V-dazzled.
Yeah, if this woman came to you and said, "Kurt, will you please watch my pie but don't eat it?" You would be if you agreed to it, you'd be V-dazzled.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. And I would be I'd be cleaning her kitchen floor with with my tongue.
Yeah.
That's how bad it gets.
Like, Kurt, don't touch this pineapple upside down cake.
I probably wouldn't.
Kurt would be like, do you ever see those videos with these people toddlers and they're like, I'm gonna go outside for 5 minutes and here's a cookie, don't eat it. And then they leave and they record the kids like talking to themselves and going, don't eat it. Kurt would be like that.
And what is it called? Vaginitized again? What was the word?
We said vidazzled.
Vidazzled?
Like bedazzled, vidazzled.
Well, the problem is if you haven't gotten out for a long time, you can get vidazzled very easily. And next thing you know, you're doing all kinds of stuff you should be doing.
Same with stigmatization.
Doing someone's income taxes while you're cleaning their house, and you're doing child care. You're taking care of their elderly relatives.
Burying that body they accidentally murdered,
Right.
Yeah. How do you think that stuff happens? Anyway, I revealed too much.
So those kids were kind of old enough to watch themselves.
The older one, I think, was. The older one was, like, trusted to, especially in a small town like that, the older one was trusted to warm up milk for his little brother on the stove. So he should be able to, like, stay home with him for a couple hours while dad's at court.
Seriously, if you can like run a stove, then you can watch a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
my parents didn't trust me though. I was like 17. I wasn't allowed at home or something like that.
oh my god, I had like
I was
a
up to no good.
12.
You had a babysitter. I had to stay with my grandmother.
I was babysitting at 12, like for money.
Yeah.
I had like a of kids I babysat.
I think I was allowed to stay home alone from like maybe 9 onward. Like, I think there was one day where I was sick and there was like a conversation with mom, and mom's like, like, you're fine. Like, what are you going to do? And this, this is back in the 80s. So it's not like there was anything to do or anywhere to go.
I did do that because I was what you would call, what they used to call a latchkey child. You come home, you find a key, And so I did used to be alone like that. But I mean, one time they went away for a couple days, and that wasn't.
Yeah, if it's an overnight thing, that's one thing. But if it's for a couple hours during the day and you have all the emergency numbers of who to call, then I think it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
Right. Okay. So then she talks to the little kid, right?
She talks to them both, yeah. And they're talking about how they miss mom. It's weird not to have mom there. I see dead people. It's weird to not have a mom.
Jeez, gets sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Boone, and then we cut to like Boone gets home, and Boone and Tara are talking about the lemonade and the dead mom.
I see dead people. Right. And Boone is looking very eager.
Well, he's bedazzled.
Yes.
He's bedazzled, I get it.
Because Boone was very smiley, and he like looked at her and smile all the time.
Oh, he's just in a lot of meth.
A lot of meth?
He's just had a lot of drugs.
Some teeth are falling out.
Yeah.
We also should mention that these people were old as fuck.
What? What?
They weren't really that old, but they were like 50. Boone's like, not that
the
that's
hell
old,
are you talking about? They were like 35.
No,
maybe 40.
I looked up the real age of these people.
Oh, okay. So what's the real ages of everybody?
Boone, the guy who's like Boone is 53. He's like 53.
Really?
Oh.
And she's like 47, 48.
Wow, that is for leads in a Hallmark movie. That is a little older.
But I knew that watching this. I figured they're in their 40s. He was older than I thought.
Maybe because of what Hallmark tends to do. I put them in the like the late 30s bucket.
Right.
Nah, I knew she was a bit older, at least. He's a little bit older than I thought that he was. It's about right. Okay.
So is this where she gets the call from Aaron?
Not yet.
Now I think they're at the saloon. She goes.
Well, no, she tells Boone that she wants to ride his horse, and he's all about it. Like he helped with the cocks, and now he's got the horse for her.
If you want to ride,
laid back.
Yeah,
it's the band who did that song.
And then they all go to the saloon to see Jenna Elfman's sister.
Yeah, singing her like B-sides.
Right.
Now she's like Cool Mo D. Because remember Cool Mo D had that song Don't Dance. And Tara, right? It was Tara. She won't dance. So she's taking Cool Mo D's advice.
But everybody else is like dancing and having fun.
That music was terrible, though.
Yes.
Well, those are her B-sides. She's not going to play any of her hits in the saloon.
And also because she doesn't have any.
Because she was trying out new songs. These are like her new songs.
Well, her new songs suck.
Yeah.
And then everybody
sing the hits.
She's so down to earth. She's like one of us.
Wouldn't it be funny if this woman moved to this small town because like everywhere else in the world, nobody cares about her fucking music, but here these people think she's famous. And so she just gets to go along with it. Like, oh, they think I'm this big superstar.
Oh, we know people like that in some of the cities we go to work.
Take it easy. Yeah,
Where?
What's that?
I said, I'm not going to say where.
Yeah. Anyway, this woman in this town, yeah, she's the only one who owns a guitar.
Right. And then
She bought all the guitars. That's what she does. She's got enough money. She goes to like all the stores, goes around all the stores, and buys all the guitars.
And then
I get ahead of myself.
Then they started having a slow dance, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and she won't. And the Boone, I thought it was kind of sweet that Boone is kind of nervous. Like he was nervous about asking her to dance. You know, sometimes you never really get over that. You know, and then he steps in front of her like he's ready to get to a slow dance with her, and she said no.
Well, I remember when I was younger and, I had experience helping to wrangle cocks, but, when I was with a girl, I would get really nervous for that slow dance.
You get nervous with a girl.
Yeah. I get that.
Guys are easy.
Yeah, we are.
That's what it seems. Am I wrong?
It's sort of
Guys are
not.
easy.
Yeah, I'm sort of easy, sort of not.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Complex.
so they don't end up dancing, do they?
Not the slow dance.
No, but he does drag her to the dance floor. And
Yeah.
then they're all like saying
does that
goodbye. And Kendra, who I guess is a character in this movie, who I completely forget, she calls out Tara because she knows she's sort of having a little spark with Boone. The words "terrible divorce" are uttered yet again.
Right.
Ooh, she suggests a fling. That's what I wrote in my notes.
Yeah, she says it's okay to see where it goes since you're only here till December. She basically said, "Hey, girl, go hook up."
I think she's correct.
Yes.
She absolutely is correct. It's just surprising to hear in a Hallmark movie.
So now do you think Hallmark is going to start doing? Because you know how in Lifetime there's always the trope of like the slutty friend. Do you think that Hallmark is going to like start doing that too?
I want Hallmark to move so far in a new direction that they soon launch a Hallmark branded OnlyFans. I would love that.
Afraid where you're going to go with that.
Not doing it anymore.
Who is not? Oh, it's Blac Chyna. Yeah.
Yes, you're not
We
doing
talked
it.
about this before, where I'd like to know, like, what are Hallmark films going to look like in 20, 30, 40, 50 years from now? They're going to have, like, anal plugs or anal beads. I'm sorry. I meant to say anal beads. Please forgive me.
There are butt plugs, too.
Yeah, but I was more thinking of anal beads.
Oh.
So I'm wondering if that's going to be happening in like 30 years from now.
I mean, that will be more mainstream by then.
Right.
You picture like
The more we
Hallmark
talk about
branded.
it, it will
It's like Hallmark branded ones. So there's like the little crown on each of the beads.
Ow.
Anal beads. That's a bucket list item.
Is it? Say more. Say more words.
I'm just kidding. All right, so let's continue.
What kind of bucket is that?
Where she gets the call.
I mean, if you have to use a bucket. I mean, if you're involved with that. Okay.
This is where she gets the call from Aaron.
I hope no one listens to this. I'm sorry. Please continue.
Is this from Aaron?
Not yet. This is where Tara and Boone are finally doing their horse riding.
Who's Aaron?
Her daughter.
Aaron's the not daughter.
Aaron.
Yeah. We find out the horses are named Bert and Ernie.
Oh, gay horses.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that.
They always ride Bert and Ernie together. We find that out. So that Boone basically has to go riding with Tara. Because Tara just wanted to do it on her own. And the boys are like, no, Bert and Ernie always ride together. You got to go, Dad. And then they're like, oh, wow, Tara can really ride. Look at all the things ladies are capable of in these Hallmark movies. They can ride a horse now.
It's very progressive.
Yeah.
And then they start giving each other the look, the Hallmark look.
Yeah. They end up with some river.
And talking about, exes and death.
Hexes. I thought you said hexes.
Boone says riding horses makes him hungry. He's like, you, Kurt.
Right, yeah.
What's that?
Because he's hungry. He's like, all this horse riding, I want to eat something now.
I'm not the only one who eats.
No, you're not. But you get excited when other people talk about their eating habits in movies.
Yeah. I used to look at people's refrigerators.
Did you really?
Yeah, when I would be at someone's house, I was just curious what they had in the refrigerator. But people caught on to that.
And they'd be like, "Oh, Kurt's gonna look in our fridge."
Yeah. I think this was more like when I was in like high school age, because I remember like high school. He went to high school with like he keeps looking at our refrigerators.
I don't know what made me think that at this point in the movie, but the actress that played Tara wasn't a bad actress, but I felt she was very miscast in this movie. She felt too slick badass to be playing a teacher that really yearns to be living in a small town.
Right. And let a man like walk over her like her ex did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like this actress, like I could very much see her leading a ton of Lifetime movies. She just had a different vibe about her.
I'll look her up and see what else she's done. Please continue.
And like when I think this is the part where I'm caught up because wasn't she telling Boone about her ex and like going into it like really bad?
I think, or that might be in the next scene where they're fishing.
Oh, okay.
All right. Well, the actress's name is Emmanuelle Valgier. She's 47. Let's see what she's done. She's a French-Canadian actress. She has been on CSI New York. She has a reoccurring role in that. Reoccurring role in 2.5 Men. She's Dr. Helen Bryce on Smallville.
Oh.
A few things. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So then what happened next?
Well, yeah, so Boone invited Tara to go fishing the next day. The boys overhear this convo, and there's music implying the boys are going to be confused by the presence of a possible new mom there.
But that's right. The little boy like flip out and go, "I don't want another mother."
Yeah, I think I don't remember. Was it the little one or the older one that had more of a problem with it as it went on? Yeah.
Hey, by the way, going full circle again, we mentioned a Jigsaw earlier in this podcast. The lead actress in this movie, played Addison Corday in both Saw 2 and Saw 4.
Oh, she's a former Saw actress.
Yes. She also was in My Five Wives with Rodney Dangerfield.
Oh.
Awesome.
Wow.
Anyway.
Oh, she has quite the IMDb.
She sure does.
Then Tara and Dawson's mom, Joanna, they're talking. And Joanna tells Tara, "Hey, you're starting to fall for him." And Joanna tells Tara, "But you don't know what you want."
And Tara's like, "No, I'm not."
No, I think she kind of like owned up to it, didn't she?
You is. Yeah, I think she did. Yeah.
What I will give this movie absolute credit for is it's the first time where we really saw a reasonable timeline to a romance starting. It wasn't like, because a lot of these Hallmark movies will get 4/5 of the movie the way in before the characters realize that they even like each other. And then the very next scene is them declaring their love and making a big life choice that's going to put them together forever. Whereas this is like they're spending time together. They're both sort of talking internally to themselves about the fact that I think I like this one. Do I like this one? Should I do this? I don't know. And it felt more real.
Yeah.
Right. So then she gets the call from Aaron, right?
Probably.
Not from Aaron. It's James, the ex, calls her.
Oh, that's right. And he's like, Aaron is like getting on my nerves, and she hates my girlfriend.
Yeah.
Beyonce.
Bethany.
Yes.
Her name is
hates
Bethany.
her.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then he's like, well, maybe you can take her. So he basically.
Well, they also. Oh, okay, yeah.
So he basically went from she's not yours, stop, don't let her call you mom, to oh my gosh, she's a pain in the ass. Why don't you take her?
Yeah.
Did we skip over? They kind of spent some romantic time together. They hung out some rocks and then they went fishing.
We mentioned that they went fishing. Yeah.
Oh, we did. Okay.
Yeah. No, and so now that we know that Aaron is coming, we get a cleaning the Airbnb montage.
Yes, and it was a full cleaning montage. And she was very happy about cleaning. And then Aaron shows up and she sees, who did she see? Because she's like, is that a real cowboy? She sees somebody.
I saw Boone.
No, she was talking about somebody at the airport who was helping.
Oh,
was
that's
that
right.
Yeah. But then the two kids and Boone approach, and one of the kids says something kind of rude.
Like,
he's like,
is she like your daughter, but she's not your daughter, or something like that?
Yeah. She handles it okay.
Yeah. And so then Erin hates her stepmother. And then she asks for a nose ring. And she notices Boone is like sniffing around. So she asks, are you and Boone together? And then after Erin goes to bed, Boone is like sitting on his porch and he calls her over. And I half thought that he was going to call her over for a little something, something.
It did seem almost like a booty call.
Yes.
The way that phone call was framed in the movie.
Yes. But he invites her for a barbecue. And she's going to bring her famous cabbage coleslaw.
Yeah, fuck no.
Her famous red cabbage. Kurt, would you like red cabbage coleslaw?
No, I don't like coleslaw.
I know,
so
Jake.
No.
Coleslaw.
Yeah. Well, the way I would prepare that is I would take the cabbage and I would chop it into like little strips, and I would take a bunch of mayo, and I put some lemon juice in there, and some other seasonings, and sometimes some bacon bits on there go really well. And then I serve it in a trash can where it fucking belongs.
Well, that raccoon will have.
Right, Max would have Max would chow down.
No, I've sicked the raccoon on Dawson.
Oh, so then they're walking around the town, and then they bump into the singer Reba, and Reba knows all the town gossip.
Yeah, that's a weird. I don't know. It's a weird. I guess we kind of mentioned this before, but it's a weird character to even have in this.
It
did. Think about it.
It truly didn't feel necessary.
There's this famous singer walking around acting like she's a normal person. I don't know.
So yeah, Jason, maybe you're right. Maybe in the other one, she had a bigger part.
Yeah. I think there was probably some note that they wanted a kind of a maternal character to Tara.
Yeah.
But they just maybe steered away from that a little bit.
And then the Aaron is having to get used to calling Tara Tara. So she kind of slips up sometimes.
Why can't you just call her mom?
Because the dad told her not to. Yeah, her dad told her not to. So then Aaron meets Dawson, and they start getting a little jiggy.
And by that you mean they're flirting over their love of reading.
Yes. Yes.
And this is the first time in the movie I realized that Dawson's a teenager. He's not a fully grown adult who was just randomly having breakfast with Tara. He's actually around the same age as Tara's stepdaughter. Got it.
Right.
Well, yeah, they have a very awkward date. They went to see a movie.
Yes.
We don't know what movie it was. I think it may have been Last Tango in Paris.
Yeah.
Because they seemed to be a little amped up.
Yeah. He's all right.
You know what I'm talking about with that butter
Yes.
scene. Yeah, so they were probably watching a revival of that, and they tried to had a that was kind of to be awkward.
Yeah.
And then
and then they walk out, and they have ice cream, and there's awkward. There's not really any follow up on that. They were supposed to have like a second date, but
isn't this the part where like Tara was supposed to pick her up, but she kind of forgot her?
Yeah.
And like kids, and Dawson's like, I gotta go home and do chores, but I can wait. And she's like, oh no, she'll show up. And then it took her forever to show up.
Yeah.
Well, I want you to cut your fingernails. Okay. Now get the butter. Put your fingers in the butter. Okay, now.
I've never seen it. I don't get the reference.
You never saw The Last Tango in Paris?
No.
Okay,
So
go watch it.
But I have seen Big Sky River.
Go watch it. You'll enjoy that scene.
So then Erin kind of sees that something's up with Boone, and she actually doesn't like it.
What's that?
Like she can see sparks between Boone and Tara, and she gives like a look like she doesn't like it.
Oh yeah.
And then she's going to bed, like it's the obligatory I'm going to bed, brush my hair scene.
Well, I think we did skip one important detail where Tara at one point had run into Kendra, who's one of the friends she's made in town. And Kendra is basically the head of the school board and basically is the school board because it's such a small town. And she offers Tara a job.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because Tara's talking about the bureaucracy of working in a big district and is hard. So she hasn't actually offered a job yet, but that scene plays into a scene that happens later.
Right.
And she's like, "Hey, we don't have any of those problems here. I'm the whole school board. We let our these kids do whatever they want." From math class, we just watch Good Will Hunting every day.
Oh, geez.
It's a party.
Oh, so then Erin asks Tara, like, you know, when the summer's over, are you going to come home?
No.
And she notices something's up, but she's like, Boone loves you, but he'll never love you as much as I do.
Mm-hmm.
And then the boys are talking to Boone, and they're like, we know you like her, but she's not our mother.
Yep.
And you just so you know. And then Boone is very smart because Boone's like, you know what? Before your mom kicked the bucket, she told me to live my life and be happy. So there you go. So your mother approves. And
Yeah, where are we now? Let's see.
This is where
this is
Tara is like going to get fill her rusty water bucket, and the water's not working.
no water.
a lot of buckets. A lot of buckets in this movie.
Yeah.
Kicking buckets, bucket list, rusty buckets.
Yeah.
And then
The ice
Boone
bucket
is-
challenge inexplicably in the middle of the movie for no reason.
There's an ice bucket challenge. Yeah.
The bucket boy, that kid from those MTV promos in the early 90s.
Oh, I remember that kid.
Yeah.
It was Bucket Boy.
He used
Kid
to play
that
the
was like in the
bucket,
subway
man.
with like
Yeah,
what
it
this
was
big like
States in the- So I don't know.
he's in one of the Mariah Carey videos too. But
And he
they
played Bucket?
yeah, he played like
I
a
think he was
big
in
plastic
Stomp.
bucket. And he was like, it became like a phenom in the subways in New York. So MTV did these like interstitial things between videos or between, you know, like in promo slots in their shows. And it was like featuring the Bucket Boy.
Hey, speaking of Mariah Carey, you went to see Mariah Carey. What did you think?
I did. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it very much.
And did she actually dance and stuff?
She's never danced. She'll move, and there's choreography
Yes.
to her show, but Mariah's not a dancer at all. Full stop. And I love Mariah. But it was good. I enjoyed it. But I made a realization that night at Mariah at LA Pride, and she doesn't normally do things like that. I was standing there, and as she's singing Hero, I made the realization that I was in the audience the first time she ever sang that song live in front of an audience.
Really?
Yes.
So you had a full circle moment.
I did.
Was that like a radio?
This wasn't even through radio. I was like actually in the Mariah Carey fan club, and it was 30 years ago on July 15th.
You were like,
and she did an original lamb, and she had been known for not touring up until that point. It was kind of weird that she had all these number one songs and like hadn't really been on tour. So third album rolls around, her then by this point fiance Tommy Mottola is like, you're going on tour. So to launch that, they filmed a concert special for NBC. And so if you've ever seen the video for Hero or the video for Without You, those live performances are taken from that special.
oh wow.
And I was there.
Oh,
Back
now that I think,
covered up.
Yeah.
She was
I was invited.
Oh.
Somebody invited me to go see her Christmas. She did a Christmas special, Christmas concert last year. Somebody invited me to go, but I wasn't able to go.
I do love her. I do love her now that she's like our Mariah today with like the dolling.
She's also embraced the fact that for many years she was just seen as just a diva, and now people are sort of past that, and it's sort of like, okay, she's embracing the fact that she's no longer 20. But she's embracing the fact that people look up to her. She's embracing the fact that like, hey, this Christmas song makes me a mint every year. I'm just going to lean into that. And so now that she's a little more humble, for lack of a better word, I think people like her more.
I like that she's kind of cuckoo bananas.
You like glitter?
Bananas. Oh, so then what else happened?
In the movie?
Oh, because the rusty water bucket, the water's not working. She goes to speak to Boone, and Boone is like freehand sketching some like architectural designs. Didn't understand that. And then this is where Dawson and Aaron are leaving the movie. They're getting ice cream. Boone's fixing the water. Aaron and Boone are talking about like big city life versus living in this dump. And then Boone and Tara are admiring the quick fix, and they're having, I called it a boring cute in my notes because I didn't care what was going on. And then Aaron and Dawson are discussing Tara's status as more a mom than a stepmom. Dawson leaves, and Aaron's like, oh, it's fine. Tara's never late. And then we see cut to Tara and Boone. They go in for a kiss.
Oh.
But then she's like, oh shit, I forgot my kid.
Well, no, then they start dancing.
They
are sort of yeah, they kiss, and they start moving in this weird circle like they're dancing, but there's no music. And then they're cock-blocked by Tara's alarm to pick up Aaron.
Cock-blocked by an alarm?
Yeah, that's like, that is self-cock-blocking.
Yes. And then she goes and gets her.
Yeah.
And then
this is where Tara runs into Kendra and is offered the job.
Yes. And then she's like, oh, I know. I gotta go back to the city. And then Kendra was like, I'm not giving up on you. And then is this where Aaron finds out about her dad?
Not yet. No, this is where Boone asks her out on a date. We actually aren't gonna just jump into we're in love with each other before having a date. So he asks her on a date, and she's like, should we be doing this? She says she could be ready for fall for him. She thinks she already has fallen for him. She doesn't know she's ready. Points out that the kiss felt ready. They're both scared. They agree, and this is where Tara gets home in another scene, and Aaron's crying because she got an email from the dad.
He's getting married.
Yes. She's got to go to the wedding now.
Yeah. I do think it's funny. Dad's like, it's urgent that you leave town, but I'm going to tell you this urgent message by sending you a technology you probably don't use because you're 14.
Right.
What was it? An email?
Yeah.
And then Erin's upset and she runs away, right?
Oh, yeah.
She did run away, but while she's running away, Tara's calling the ex and chewing him out and calling him a douchebag and stuff. Like, well, she didn't say that, but she's just
basically,
yeah, chewing him out.
Wait, is she what she calls him? What is she? What does it sound like? What she calls him? You know what I'm talking about? Is there a soundbite?
Oh, again, Kurt, I didn't mention this on the show, but I have like one arm right now because I dislocated my shoulder. So it takes me a while, and I need a little bit more of an on-ramp to get to things like...
You dick!
That's it. That's a recording of our phone call.
Yes. Actually, I think it'd be really funny if Tara called him and instead just he picks up the phone and she's just like, "You bitch, you're ruining your daughter's life."
So then, and Erin runs away because they always run away.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then they find her.
And she had fallen off a raft, or where was she planning on going? Floating away into the
Stupid
Gulf of Mexico, or I don't know.
Whatever happened to calling an Uber? And then this is where Tara Tara then decides I'm going to leave tomorrow, and so then. She tells Boone, gotta go. Bye. Which I think is pretty shitty. It's like you spend the whole summer there and then you just decide, I'm gonna leave. Because then she wants to be a mother to Erin, even though she's not supposed to be. Is that pretty much it?
Well, let's see. No, we talked about the heavy drama where they run to find Erin. The boat capsized, but she's all right.
It's like a poor man's remake of that Meryl Streep River movie. You remember that one?
The River Wild?
Yeah, The River Wild.
I never saw it though.
It was like that, except you're kind of rooting for some people to capsize.
That was the movie where it was a big deal that Meryl Streep has a gun.
Well, it was like Meryl Streep's doing an action movie.
Right.
Wow. Remember when Dustin Hoffman did an action movie? What was it? Congo or Outbreak, I think it was called. And all it was him going from a helicopter. He jumped like 3 feet onto a ship, but that was his action scene.
Woo! It probably wasn't even him.
Probably not.
I forget. The movie sucks, whatever it was. Was it called Outbreak? It was something. Whatever it was. It was bad.
So then this is the part where she's like leaving, right? She's like, Boone, I'm leaving.
Out of here.
Boone.
I guess so. But doesn't she stay?
Yeah.
I have a
yeah.
kiss.
Well, I think she's already staying by this point, or like has already told him she's leaving. But then the whole Erin thing with the boat happens. Tara calls James, the ex, and she's like, I'm not sending Erin back now, and you just need to love her.
And James looks secretly relieved about the whole thing.
Relieved, but also almost like, wow, my ex really put me in my place with how to parent my child, and I've taken that information and I'm a better man for it.
Right. And she's just gonna stay there with her, and I can live my life with my young wife and be happy.
Yeah.
Nice.
Because when it all comes down to it, and it comes between the young wife and the kid, anything to make life with the young wife easier, I'll do it.
I just realized I referenced. I just said I'm out of here, and I referenced the old TV show The State, where I worked as an intern many years ago. So I've now come full circle in my life.
Oh wow.
Well, there you
So
go.
how's that for full circle?
You worked as an intern. You know, all those guys are still working. Like Michael Showalter is a huge director.
I know. Well, he ain't calling me, but I was an intern on the show. You know what I did? I was not an intern on MTV. They left MTV and they tried to go to CBS, and they did like a Halloween special, and I was an intern on their Halloween special.
Oh, okay.
What did you do as an intern?
I worked like at all the departments. I worked with like the prop departments, everybody there. And then they did and then they were going to do a New Year's Eve special on CBS. And exclusive news. I never talked about this before.
No.
I sort of remember their stuff at CBS. I sort of remember there being talk about the show.
So they're planning on doing a show on. So I was at the filming of the show and all that stuff. And what was the group there? Sonic Youth was the band that played. That was their musical guest. I had to clear them out of a hallway at one point. I was like, "Okay, Sonic Youth, please leave." But anyway, they were planning on doing a New Year's Eve show, and they had me going to the library and getting images and stuff like that. And these images they were stuff that they're planning for their New Year's Eve special. They didn't do the New Year's Eve special because the Halloween show bombed. It tanked. But then their plans for the New Year's Eve special became the show Viva Variety.
Oh, nice.
So I did like this early research for Viva, what became Viva Variety.
Oh. The Many Lives of Kurt Fitzpatrick. That could be a miniseries. I'd watch it.
Well, as you could see, I was very instrumental in the entertainment industry and our culture of today.
Yes. Well.
Right. Oh, he's saying wrap it up.
Yeah.
If you want to find...
I was done.
No, I just meant all of us. That wasn't for you directly, Kurt. That was for all of us.
If you want to find me, Les Kirkendall Barrett, you can find me on Instagram at Kirkendall, KURKENDAAL. Jason.
Please rate and review us wherever you listen to your podcast. Give us 5 stars, despite the fact that we haven't put out a new episode in 6 weeks. It helps other people find the show for when we do put out new episodes. You can find us on Instagram and Facebook at Lifetime of Hallmark Podcast, and you can find me on Facebook and Instagram at Big Shot Jason. Kurt.
Okay, so I'm on kurtfitzpatrick.com. I will update it, but in the meantime, I'm doing my show, The Jester of All Maladies, at the Indianapolis Fringe Festival in the beginning of September, and then I'm going to be doing my show, Behind Every Great Mariska Hargitay is a Great Kurt Fitzpatrick, at the end of September in the Cannonball Festival, which is part of the Philadelphia Fringe Festival. I'm also going to be performing, I believe this is going to be happening, I'm going to be performing in a Vacation Bible School production. I am. No, this is true. I got involved in this because they were going to have me play Jesus, but they have a different role for me. So I'm going to be doing that for 5 nights in Elmer, New Jersey, and that's going to be I think beginning of August. That's what's going on.
As Jesus?
No, I'm not going to be Jesus. I'm going to be playing more of like that's what I thought they were going to have me do. So that's why I was interested in doing it. But now they said not Jesus. I'm going to be playing more of like an Indiana Jones role.
Okay.
Indiana Jones back in the saddle. Yes, that'll be
All
me.
right.
And
That's it.
And I am going to be doing my show, Climbing My Family Tree, also in Indianapolis at the Indianapolis Fringe Festival, but I will be there before Kurt. So Kurt is spared because I'll be there the last 2 weeks in August. And I'll also be at the Minnesota Fringe Festival doing the same show the first 2 weeks in August. And very soon, probably next week, I will have an announcement coming up regarding my show, The Real Black Swan. Oh. And good announcement. And let's just say I will be closer to home.
Okay.
Oh, can I say something too? I'm
Sure.
sorry. If I left something out. Were you done?
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Okay, no, just the shelf shedding movie show. I'm on. There's a new episode just got released. We do late period, or perhaps mid period, Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. So it's Jason DeBray is the host. He's a friend of the show. He's been on an episode. So that was released recently. All right,
Awesome.
And also, I actually am on the Black Queer Town Hall podcast that's hosted by Bob the Drag Queen and Peppermint. And you can catch me on that. And I guess that's it. So, Gay Pride is over. I will not be making any more trips out of the country. So, we are back, people.
Indiana Jones back of the saddle.
We're back. And now I gotta go jogging so I can close my rings for today. So, see you later. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.